Okay, so today I'm making carne guisada with, I have added my seasoned meat. It has salt and pepper on it to my medium-high heat skillet. Here, it's kind of a heavy pan here. So we're gonna put it in here and let it brown for a little bit. And the next step will be to add the potatoes so they can partially cook as well, and the onions. So you want the meat to cook about halfway through, and then you'll add the potatoes and continue cooking everything together. You don't want to overcook the meat and then add the potatoes, because then your meat will get overly browned. So we're cooking the meat till about halfway through, and to me that means it's brown all over. And obviously it won't be done on the middle, but that's when you add the potatoes. As you can see, our meat has been thoroughly browned, and it's only, it's not cooked all the way through. You can still see some pink juices running out, freely, and there's quite a bit of juice in there. That's okay. We're putting in our potatoes next, and that'll soak up a lot of juice, and we'll start browning that as well. So it'll kind of cook together. The potatoes are in, and now we'll season, once we stir that in together, we'll season the potatoes as well as the beef a little bit further, simply because the potatoes will soak up a lot of that seasoning, and everything will become kind of bland if you don't add more salt. So we're going to add some salt here so that the potatoes and the beef taste good when they come out. Anyway, so we're going to keep cooking these potatoes until they get about halfway done themselves, and then we'll add some onion. So at this stage the potatoes are about halfway cooked. I don't know if you can tell. Right here, let's zoom in on that one right there. There's like a little potato that you can see the inside's kind of more opaque than the outside, translucent. So that's what I consider kind of like a halfway cooked potato. But anyway, so now we're going to add in the onion and keep cooking things up. The onion has been added, so we're going to keep stirring and browning everything until it cooks down really well. We want the onion to be translucent. So this is going really well. It's cooking. The onions are in there, so we'll let this cook down for a little bit longer, stirring as we do. And then next step will be to add the tomatoes and chopped of garlic. That's the garlic on top of the tomatoes there. So we'll add that next to our pot, and we'll get that all mixed in together. And then we'll add some boiling water. I don't think I mentioned, but I have a kettle of water that's heated over here, and so we'll add a little bit of water at the end just so that it can keep stewing and that meat can get really tender. As you can see, those onions are getting really translucent, so now it will add our tomatoes and garlic so we can keep stewing everything together so it can start cooking and soaking up all that flavor. Tomatoes and garlic in. Now let's just mix it up, and we want to keep stirring and cooking this until the tomatoes are pretty broken up in here. Basically, that's like when you can see the skins separating from the meat of the tomato, and then you'll know you're at a good spot to like stop and go ahead and go to the next step. Okay, so you can see that the meat has been browned, the potatoes are nice and soft, and the tomato has broken up from the meat. I don't know how else to say that. The skins have separated from the meat of the tomato. So you can kind of see that little skins everywhere, and then this is a perfect example of the skin right here. And then, so it's good. It's turned into a nice saucy mix. And the potatoes, if you try to kind of press down on one, you'll see it'll start breaking up. And so you have to be careful when you stir this, because you don't want them to break up too much. See what I mean? A broken potato. Anyway, you don't want it to break up too much and become very like just mush. You still want them to keep some shape. So this is a good spot to be at. What I'm going to do next is add some boiling water or some hot water to this, just because I want it to keep stewing and cooking, and I don't want it to get too dry, and get that beef really, really tender. So it'll be about a cup of water, I would say, but you might need more or you might need less depending on how much juice was released when you were cooking. So you might want to eyeball it. I would start with the cup and then go from there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add some water and go from there. I have added a cup of water, and see how that looks very much like a stew. I also added about a tablespoon of Knorr tomato bouillon powder because I like just the flavor it adds, but that's completely optional. And also at this point, it's kind of optional, but it adds a really good flavor, but I'm out. Is a medium green bell pepper sliced up and put it in there. That tastes really good, but I don't have time to go to the market. So here we are. It's pretty basic. It's coming to a boil now. So I'm going to turn my heat to low. Let's see if you can see that. There you go. So it's low. And then I'm going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes and come back to it and see how it does. I'm also going to cover it. So cover and let simmer for about 20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes and I'm going to turn this off. And at this point, we are done. This is going to be served with dinner with a side of rice. You see that potato just broke up? That's perfection. Anyway, okay. Thanks for joining me. Like my channel. Bye. Okay, so today I'm making carne guisada with papas, con papas. Potatoes are right here. So this is 2 pounds of ground chuck cubed, 2 tomatoes chopped up, I would say about 4 garlic cloves, and a medium onion sliced up. It looks red because it has some of the tomato juice in there, so that's why it looks red. And this is about 4 small potatoes chopped up. The potatoes and the meat are supposed to be about the same size. So first thing we'll do is add the meat to the pan that has about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and we'll start browning the meat. Okay, so today I'm making carne guisada with, I have added my seasoned meat. It has salt and pepper on it to my medium-high heat skillet. Here, it's kind of a heavy pan here. So we're going to put it in here and let it brown for a little bit. And the next step will be to add the potatoes so they can partially cook as well, and the onions.